Ah, Star Wars. The science fiction juggernaut that had its humble beginnings back in the 70s with a single blockbuster film. A single film that quickly evolved into a whole trilogy, a line of toys, and spawned an entire media empire that has entertained all of us for generations. Alright, let's stop that music now so Disney doesn't gangbang me with copyright strikes, and change it with something else. How about this? Star Wars doesn't really need much of an introduction. It's a giant franchise that spanned decades and has been explored as a franchise by every form of media possible. The movies, obviously, but books, TV series, board games, comics, and most relevant of all to yours truly, video games. Video games have been my favorite medium for Star Wars, with so many classic titles being spawned over the years. Whether it be the epic tales and lovable characters in the Knights of the Old Republic franchise,
Love is making a shot to the knees of a target 120 kilometers away using an Aerotech sniper rifle with a tri-light scope.
the intense, massive battles of the two original Battlefront titles. I'll be honest, I never got around to the EA ones, though I've heard 2 has become a decent game in the years since its release. The frenetic action of the first-person shooter genre in Republic Commando and the Jedi Knight line of games. Star Wars has definitely spawned some of its best material in the video game medium, but I'm not here to talk about good Star Wars games. This is the fighting game series I have after all, and that can unfortunately only mean one thing. Star Wars, Masters of Teras Kasi. Masters of Teras Kasi? I don't know. Blighting the PlayStation 1, and nay, the entire world on Halloween on 1997. I'd make a joke about, ooh, is this game a trick or a treat? But after playing through Masters of Teras Kasi on a lark, I can't hide my sneering contempt for this game whatsoever. The story of Teras Kasi occurs after the events of A New Hope. The Empire's pretty cheesed off that those plucky rebels managed to destroy the Death Star and want all the key leaders of the rebellion assassinated. Lacking access to a reliable HK unit, Darth Vader reaches out to the enigmatic Arden Lyn, a warrior and master of the deadly Teras Kasi martial art. Lyn is tasked with killing Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Chewbacca, and Princess Leia. Luke and the others hear of this upcoming assassination attempt and prepare themselves for battle against the bionic armed assassin. And that's it for story. You just get tossed into the game menu. No BS. Pick your mode, pick your favorite character, and start throwing hands. Roster-wise? Okay, well, if there was any sort of bright spot to show for this game, it would be the roster. You have all the classics available to you: Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, Boba Fett, and Darth Vader serving as the game's final boss. The game also introduces a small selection of totally new characters as well, most of whom were first named in this title, and later had their backstories fleshed out for integration into the greater Star Wars franchise as a whole. I mentioned her earlier, but the titular new character for this game was Arden Lyn, a bionic armed assassin and deadly combatant. An axe-wielding Gamorrean by the name of Thok, who was later written in as one of the guards on Jabba's palace ship in Return of the Jedi. And yo mama! Nah, I'm just kidding. But really, there's a Tusken Raider in this game that goes by the name of Hor, short for He's one of those ever-friendly sand people, except this one is trained in the ways of Teras Kasi by Arden Lyn. Each character also has a pretty choice alternate outfit, which you can select by holding down L1. Luke gets his Return of the Jedi black clothing, Han gets both of his normal outfits from the trilogy, and Leia surprisingly gets her Bosch bounty hunter disguised as an alt. It even gets the voice changer in-game, too.
Knockout. You win.
A very nice little touch, I can't lie. Even the secret characters get alternate outfits. Oh yeah, there's some unlockable secret characters in this game. For you younger gamers not in the know, games used to have characters you could unlock without giving your credit card information to the company that made it. You just had to achieve certain goals to get them. Crazy shit, am I right? There are 5 secret characters to unlock. You have the final boss and Darth Vader, of course, whose alt is just him being slightly purpler for some reason. Also, I gotta say, Darth Vader's forward grapple is ridiculous. Look at that forward momentum. You can ring out in 2 grabs from the middle of the arena. It's insane. You also have Slave Leia because, well, of course you gotta sneak that costume in somewhere. Also, this Leia is referred to as Princess Leia in a game. Guess to differentiate from the normal one somehow. And there's Jodo Kast, a way lesser known character who was probably known for impersonating Boba Fett and later being killed by Fett himself for disgracing his name. Then just a basic stormtrooper. Comes in a scout variety as well. And then there's... Oh, why, hello there, Mara Jade, the now long-lost wife of Luke Skywalker and purple lightsaber-wielding badass. The things we lost when Disney took over, man. It's a damn shame, too, since Mara Jade was a real badass warrior chick. Look into her sometime. She was pretty rad. Moving on to the game itself now. It's awful! There really isn't another word for it, unless you want me to bust out a thesaurus and cut a Chris Jericho promo right now. Like with every fighting game I have the ability in, I hit the lab immediately to try to learn a character. I couldn't find a grappler of any kind, so I ended up going with Boba Fett, him narrowly edging out Chewbacca. In retrospect, I probably should have played Chewie because his forward grab is hilarious. Also, since I mentioned one funny command grab, let me bring up another one. Shoutouts to Princess Leia's, which is just a swift knee to the balls.
That's my purse! I don't know you!
Knockout. You win.
You'll notice it immediately, but this game is pretty dang stiff. Every normal feels super deliberate and aimed. I've heard this game was mo-capped, and that might explain some of the stiffness in the animations, since I doubt they put in the extra effort to make them really smooth after all. This stiffness is also replicated in the game's controls. Typically as I play a fighting game, I'm able to find rhythms and methods to execute my combos and specials. This game, however, in spite of my absolute best efforts, I was never able to find a groove to be able to execute my moves regularly. I was able to do it in Street Fighter 1, but not Masters of Teras Kasi for some reason. Theoretically, this game functions like your average 3D fighter with dial-in combos and special moves, but good god, these combos are almost impossible to pull off consistently. Even the basic 1-2-1 didn't come out half the time. Not like that mattered, since I'm pretty confident Boba Fett's 1-2-1 doesn't even work properly. The second punch doesn't even connect. Look at this. I'd like to point out that in his review of this game, Matt Skarupa of GameZilla said the button combos were, quote, simple and easy to pull off.
Wrong!
So, since combos were sadly off the table, I had to rely on whatever moves had good range, good tracking, as well as the special maneuvers your character gets. Specials in this game waffle between being hilarious and being so utterly broken I have no idea how they were okayed. On the hilarious side of things, watching Han Solo do a Shoryuken gave me life. Boba Fett can bust out M. Bison's Psycho Crusher, as well as a spinning knuckle attack too. Hor also pirouettes like a ballerina for half his moves, letting out that familiar guttural sand people war cry as he does. He also breaks out the fart gas when he's in trouble. I also mentioned overpowered, and, well, I wasn't kidding. They might cost you 4 bars, but meter is super easy to generate, so you have access to them every round, and they will end every fucking round. If the game lets you use them with these triple controls, that is. For instance, Arden Lin's 4-bar move is a full-body energy wave that comes out almost instantly, is unblockable, is unavoidable, and does 50% damage. Boba Fett's jetpack missiles are similar, but the first part can miss at least. Thankfully, the follow-up missiles lock on to your opponent and ream their ass every time. Every character has something this ridiculous. It's absurd. Arden Lin was actually the hardest opponent because of her super specifically, even harder than Darth Vader. Anytime she had 4 bars, I just knew it was fucking coming. It didn't help that her combos were good too, as well as her normals actually having good tracking. This chick was a total monster, but should I really be surprised? She was made specifically for this game after all. Of course she's S+ tier. I guess it also didn't help that the AI is a cheater pumpkin eater, and I have video proof. Watch closely. 0 bars, then 4 instantly. And off one attack? Oh no, AI. I'm on to you, you blatant cheater. Also doesn't help that the hitboxes in this game can be a little bit janky, too.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
All this combined made me really not feel bad about cheesing her.
You win.
I'd better be getting paid for this.
You and me both, buddy. You and me both. Unfortunately, after I did that, the game banished me to the Phantom Zone. Mobility in this game is also pretty jank too, though I think my main complaint with that is having your sidestep be locked to 2 buttons instead of just being able to double tap up or down to sidestep like in most fighting games. Your jump also carries insane forward momentum and upwards momentum, though maybe mine is worse because I'm Boba Fett and I have a jetpack. This wouldn't be a problem typically, but Teras Kasi has ring outs, and the stages aren't particularly big. It's pretty easy to ring yourself out. The borders of the ring out are also kind of finicky.
You win.
Multiple times I've been knocked down near the edge of the arena, only just to slide out a few moments later.
Ring out. You lose.
I didn't roll off this edge either, for reference, because I have no idea how to roll in this game. I know you can, obviously, but How? I tried so many different combinations when I was on the ground, but it seemed to only come out while I was mashing. The manual doesn't mention it either, not even in the pro tips section. So if you make the ill-advised decision to play this game, the best bet to win is to just find whatever moves of yours have good tracking and cover the biggest area around you. So basically I spammed the spinning knuckle, psycho crusher, and went with the time-tested method of winning any martial arts match, sweeping the leg.
Knockout.
I'm gonna sweep the leg. You got a problem with that?
Knockout.
All of these things on top of the occasional AI brain fart.
You win.
We take those. I swept the leg all the way to Darth Vader, who was nowhere near as difficult as I'd been hoping. When you're a fighting game player, you tend to expect the final boss to utterly push your shit in at least once. That's how it worked with Seth, Shao Kahn, Omega Rugal, and tons more. I was playing on Jedi too, for reference, the hardest difficulty, and I really thought Vader would go Rogue One on my ass. But nope, easy peasy. I beat Vader's ass, and I'm rewarded with a cutscene. Boba Fett just kinda standing in front of the Slave One like, "What up, bitch? I just beat Darth Vader in a fist fight." And that's it. Seriously, that's all you get for winning. Look at the rest of the cutscenes as well, and they're all just as lame and utterly pointless as Fett's. They're just there, a paltry reward for your suffering. So yeah, that's Star Wars Masters of Teras Kasi. It sucks, plain and simple. I can best describe this game as functional garbage. It's getting placed in dead last on my grand list of 3 fighting game titles so far. If you're a Star Wars fan, there's some novelty here at least, but it's better to just let this one drown in the depths of history. Anywho, I'm Hades Manticore. Thanks so much for watching if you found this video somehow. Leave a fat like and a comment, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Goodbye.